Hi, I welcome you all, the fellow technologists and enthusiasts who are present here today. As we stand on the brink of a new era, it is my privilege to open this talk on generative AI and chatbots. In a world where technology is not just an enabler, but a catalyst for transformation, we are witnessing the dawn of generative AI, a frontier that promises to redefine the boundaries of innovation and human interaction. Mark Benioff, Chair, CEO, and co founder of Salesforce, said, artificial intelligence and generative AI may be the most important technology of any lifetime. While this statement underscores the transformative potential of AI and chatbots, it also reflects the growing consensus among experts that AI is not just a tool, but a pivotal force in the evolution of our digital landscape. Chatbots represent a new trend in how people access information, make decisions, and communicate, says Christy Pitts from Verizon Ventures. This quote highlights the significant shift in the way we interact with technology and the increasing role of chatbots in our daily lives, both personally and professionally. In today's session, I would be outlining the potential of generative AI and chatbots with a hint on responsible AI. Let us embark on this exploration together, intertwining the philosophical and technological realms with open minds and a shared vision for a future where technology serves as a force of positive change and inclusive growth. How many of you have interacted with a chatbot in the past week? Now, did that interaction feel as natural as speaking with a human? This simple exercise reveals the current state of chatbots and generative AI, but let's ponder on the deeper questions. What do we envision for the future of these technologies? And how can we harness the power of generative AI to create chatbots that don't just mimic human interaction but enhance it, making a daily task easier and our businesses more efficient, being responsible? Join me in exploring these questions today. The key topics for today are Ikigai of AI, sharing my perspective, the soul of AI, Gen AI market snapshot, interconnectedness between Gen AI and chatbots, chatbot architecture, and the use case. Apart from this, there are references and suggested courses which would help you to try your hands at developing a chatbot yourself. Today's presentation reflects my personal views, unrelated to my organization or anyone else. I have been inspired by a few talks which you might notice in some parts. About myself, as an ardent technologist with over 2 decades of industry experience and an IEEE senior member, I hold the position of solution architect in a leading fintech firm. My journey into generative AI commences last year with my participation at Vista Hackathon. As part of my other responsibilities, I'm also a member of Generative AI Task Force and provide AI-driven solutions at various levels within my organization. Since 2014, I have been upskilling myself in the emerging technologies such as machine learning, data science, IoT full stack, artificial intelligence, and recently generative AI. Understanding one's purpose is paramount. I invite you to pause for a moment and reflect on this. Indeed, as many of you might anticipate, recognizing our purpose sharpens our focus. It brings clarity, guiding us towards the how, when, why, and where of our objectives. Familiar to some, the concept of Ikigai offers a valuable framework for discovering purpose. Today, we delve into the Ikigai of AI. Ikigai, a Japanese term, signifies a reason to live. The core of this concept is purpose. With this concept in mind, solely my perspective, I have adapted it to the realm of AI, considering 4 pivotal elements: business, machine, ESG, and user. ESG expands to environmental, social, and governance. The essence of AI emerges at the convergence of these elements. Let's look at each of these and their interactions and what does it mean to us. Starting with the intersection of ESG with machine, which brings in governance. At the intersection of machine with business, it defines technology. Similarly, at the intersection of business with user, we provide solutions. And where user intersects with ESG, it addresses the societal impact. Now, the next level, where there is governance plus technology, which is convergence of ESG, machine, and business. We define policies, ethical coding. Similarly, for technology plus solutions, which is convergence of machine, business, and user, we develop human-like chatbot. And for solutions plus social, which is convergence of business, user, and ESG, the solutions provided are fair, unbiased, ethical, etc. The last, social plus governance, which is convergence of user, ESG, and machine, brings in regulations, policies, etc. Finally, what do we have at the core of the intersection between all of these? Without doubt, it has to be generative AI with responsible AI. The whole point of making such a representation in Ikigai form is to derive the essence of where we are going with the use of AI, Gen AI and responsible AI in particular. Like you see, Ikigai of AI lies in our ability to seamlessly weave together AI innovation, technical expertise, societal impact, and economic opportunities. Now, please get a paper and a pen. Recall all the key things that you heard of until now and make a note of it. If you also have your own Ikigai, get it. It is not about doing things, it is about doing things right that makes a difference. Go ahead and compare your Ikigai and this Ikigai. Do you get it? While we look at business, user, machine separately, we miss the big picture and the core. However, in convergence, Gen AI and responsible AI emerges. It is not about Gen AI alone, but Gen AI with responsible AI is about doing it right. Isn't that most important? So while you develop any AI, specifically Gen AI products, please ensure responsible AI principles are adhered. Let's take a small oath to develop AI solutions responsibly. Now that we found the soul and understand the criticality of building responsible solutions using AI, let's quickly look at the market for Gen AI. Isn't it very promising and exciting? Last year, the market size was 44 billion USD, and in 7 years, it is going to grow up to 206 billion US dollars and more, as per Statista's reports in April 2024. It's growing from $44 billion to $206 billion. This only confirms that this is just a beginning. There is much more to come in terms of AI as service, infrastructure for AI, etc. However, when we look at the hype cycle of AI published by Gartner in 2023, it looks like Gen AI is at the peak of inflated expectations. And from there on, it comes crashing and eventually plateaus with many other emerging technologies like computer vision, etc. Also, from investments and outcomes perspective, there is so much of expectation globally across industries. These two are indicators of future market and business needs. Thus, this is the right time to start thinking in terms of Gen AI and its applications being responsible. There are many applications of generative AI. One of the most common application and heavily used is chatbot. Why do you think chatbot is so very popular? Like we all know, it is because of the natural and human like interactions. Generative AI is revolutionizing the field of chatbots by enabling them to produce more of such interactions. Are you excited to be part of this journey and see how you could build one? It could be for your personal use or for a business outcome. Imagine you have a chatbot which can prepare summaries and notes for you as part of your exam preparations or any other activity. How does it sound? Or a chatbot that takes voice notes and provides a response which you want back in voice. Think about it. Your own mini Alexa. Or a chatbot which can respond the way you prompt it. For example, you program it to provide short, simple answers. Here you go. Your personalized chatbot responding the way you want. Or a chatbot to delight your customer by providing human like responses in real time in their own preferred way. Wouldn't that solution be a top notch? Now, if you have not attempted one before, then there are many questions like how do I do? Where do I begin? What steps could one follow? What are the best practices, etc. There are many ways to approach this. Let's quickly look at one of the approach that will help you understand at a high level. As part of this, we will look into these three key areas: generative AI in chatbot, best practice, building chatbot with generative AI. Generative AI is at the forefront of innovation in chatbot architecture. It empowers chatbots with GPT, that is generative pre-trained transformer models. This is one of the model that you could use from the lot. Natural language processing, natural language understanding, allowing them to comprehend user inputs with remarkable depth. This means moving beyond mere keyword spotting to truly grasping the context and intent behind our words. Continuous learning. One of the most exciting aspects of generative AI is its ability to learn and improve over time. As it processes more data from interactions, it offers increasingly accurate and relevant responses, evolving with each conversation. Dynamic conversations. Unlike traditional rule based systems, generative AI doesn't confine chatbots to a set of predefined responses. Instead, it enables them to generate replies dynamically, leading to conversations that are fluid and less predictable, much like chatting with a human. Personalized experiences. Personalization is key in today's digital landscape, and generative AI excels at this. By leveraging user data and past interactions, it can tailor conversations to individual preferences, providing a truly personalized chat experience. Best practices in chatbot development. When developing a chatbot, it's essential to adopt a user centric design approach, setting clear objectives, aligned with business goals. Selecting the right chatbot platform or vendor is also crucial for ensuring long term success and scalability. Building your own chatbot. If you're considering building your own generative AI powered chatbot, start by defining its purpose, selecting an appropriate AI model, train the model with relevant data, integrate it with necessary platforms, and continuously test and iterate based on user feedback. In conclusion, generative AI is reshaping the way we interact with chatbots, making them more intuitive, responsive, and personalized. As we continue to innovate, the possibilities are limitless. I look forward to seeing the incredible chatbots you'll create. Please feel free to share. Now, let's dive deep in understanding the chatbot and its architecture. This is a simple chatbot architecture using GenAI. Like you can see, there are four different layers: the UI layer, the application layer, the backend, and the data layer. When a user places a query via a web browser or an app, it sends that query to the app server. In turn, the app server calls the GPT API and provides the query as a request payload along with other required parameters for a chat completion. And internally, it could use indexes or search to access the data source, queries the data source, and then gets a response, which is further processed by GPT model to provide a generated response for the query. This is then passed on as a response to the API. The orchestrator ensures that the response is in the output format as defined, and thus the user receives response for the query. While the request and response are all going on, the monitoring can happen in parallel. The key elements that you need is web page or an app, GPT model, cognitive search, indexes, and data sources. A web page or an app for UI interaction, which can have both app server and UI logic in it, and GPT model defined and accessible by this web page or app. The other components are cognitive search and indexes of files. The last one is the data source. Now that we have understood the simple chatbot architecture using GPT model, cognitive search, let's look at the use case provided as a solution. Use case: chatbot using Azure OpenAI. Let's now look at its architecture and tech stack. This is very similar to the chatbot architecture we discussed before. Here, like you can see, UI interacts with app server or orchestrator, where it provides query, receives response, and transforms if need be. App server orchestrator receives the query, passes on to the GPT model via API if it is text. If it is voice, then it is sent to speech service, which converts speech to text and then send it to GPT model via API. GPT model then internally uses search or indexes, queries the data source, and receives the required data. Once it receives, it generates the response based on this data and passes it on to the API. If it is text, it is transformed as per the response formatting, and if it is speech service, then the text response is converted to text to speech. Finally, the transformed response is sent to the user. The monitoring service can be plugged in anytime it is needed. We also can plug in the authorization authentication module to make it more secure. The tech stack used are on Windows machine, Python and Gradio. Hardware prerequisites for taking voice as input and output, Azure OpenAI services and related Python libraries. Finally, specific documents. So this is the overall architecture. Apart from this, we also emphasize on certain features like user experience, multiple languages, etc., which really enrich the user experience. Now we have come to the fag end of the session. We explored generative AI and chatbots. It is clear to all of us that generative AI is powerful. With great power comes great responsibility. Thus, with the use of generative AI, responsible AI becomes a key factor which should be at the forefront of every organization. I conclude with this quote: success in creating AI would be the biggest event in human history. Unfortunately, it might also be the last unless we learn how to avoid the risks. As stated by Stephen Hawking, our theoretical physicist, cosmologist, and author. Thank you, everyone, for your time and attention. In this appendix, there are some references for a few architectures and design patterns. These are the few courses that I would recommend. In Pluralsight, there are many courses available, and this is a course on generative AI architecture. This is good for understanding the overall working of architecture with respect to generative AI. And as I did this course myself, I'll recommend this one. In Coursera as well, there are many courses, like you all know. But this one course, which is on build systems with ChatGPT API by Andrew Ng, I can strongly recommend this because I've already taken a course by Andrew Ng on ML. Right. So that was a good experience. And from that, I could definitely watch. And the next thing is about if you want to build chatbot and you are a Python person, then probably you can just take a look at it. You can build your UI using Gradio. That really helped. And from a responsible AI point of view, Microsoft has laid out certain frameworks and principles which is very easy to grasp. So these two links will help you to understand that what does it mean to be or to have responsible AI while you do the development, and what kind of framework Microsoft suggests, right? And there are many more which you can definitely look at. This could be a good start point for you. Yeah. And yeah, if you wish to connect and share your chatbot journey, post the session, feel free to share. Details are here. Have a wonderful day. Thank you.